huge congrats on this series. I absolutely loved it.
Thank you.
And I saw that it's already been like renewed for a second season.
Yes.
How cool is that for
Very
you, like
cool.
coming to promote season 1 when you already know you're doing the second one?
It's really, yeah, it makes it much easier. Otherwise, there's no point in talking about it.
People have been praising your performance so highly, and I think everyone's been loving seeing you in this kind of like bit more dramatic, emotional space, as well as obviously all the comedy that you're so brilliant at. What was that like for you as an actor, kind of getting to flex those muscles?
It was great. It's one of the main reasons I wanted to do it because, you know, thank goodness I still have Sunny, so it wasn't like I was just giving one up for the other. But you know, I have a theater background. I used to do dramatic stuff all the time. It's just nobody saw it except for people in Oregon who came to plays. Yeah, no, it's fun, especially when the dramatic stuff is emotional with kids. You know what I mean? Like, I like that stuff. I have 2 kids, and I love them deeply. And so I liked being able to play a well-rounded character who was flawed and silly and goofy, but also emotional.
The kids were brilliant.
Aren't they so good?
And the baby.
The baby! Did you notice that we went through like 3 different babies?
Really?
Oh my
I didn't
gosh,
notice.
There's so many babies. Yeah.
Next baby.
Don't look too closely. I'm like, can we at least get the same color hair on this baby?
Put a hat on, and then nobody
we
will
try,
notice.
and then she takes it off. It's a whole thing. Babies are interesting.
Yeah, but they're fabulous.
You're a single mom with 3 kids pretending to be a cop.
I am consulting. Got a dead body, gotta go.
Isn't that our cleaning lady?
Oh, I see you brought your baby to a crime scene.
It's great because we really hit the jackpot with them. Amira and Matthew are so talented and also just like happy to be there and up for anything. And they're troopers because I'm throwing stuff at them sometimes where I'm just saying completely different things and they have to kind of roll with it. And that's, I don't think they're used to that at all. And so, I mean, I talked them through it first, obviously, but yeah, they're really wonderful. I got really lucky. It's not always that easy, but these guys are truly the best.
Was it ever a conversation that your own kids were like, I would maybe like to?
Yeah, not in this show, but mostly when I did the Mick on Fox many years ago. My boys were very little at the time, and they were really confused. They were like, "Well, why can't we do that? We have to go to school." And I was like, "No, every family is different."
Yeah.
Like,
these are my new kids for a little
Yeah,
while,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
we'll come back.
Yeah.
But obviously, you leading the show, and you're just so fabulous.
Thank
and I think it's kind of interesting because I mostly know you from like an ensemble cast.
Mm-hmm.
What are the main differences in those sets and how they operate? Because it is such a different tone.
It's a different tone. Yeah. So on Sunny, we are 5 friends who the scripts are already written before we start shooting any of the season. So our showrunner is there all the time because he's also an actor on the show and my husband. And on this show, things are just moving much faster. There's a lot of dramatic stuff in between because I'm producing. I'm back in my trailer working on something. So it's less of like show up and laugh all day and then go. It's just like harder work, but I love that. It's a good challenge.
It sounds a bit more like all-consuming,
Yes.
almost, because the producing element I find so fascinating.
Yeah.
And congrats on that as well.
Thank you.
What does that mean, kind of in layman's terms? Of
Right.
like, what is your like involvement then?
So I will look at scripts and give notes on scripts, broad strokes. Also very involved in Morgan's dialogue. I think it's a tricky tone for people. So a lot of Morgan dialogue notes. I'm involved in casting, wardrobe stuff. Those are the main things. And actor notes. Like I'll especially like with the kids and stuff like that, doing some like acting coaching and things like that.
Cool. I mean, sounds like a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It just doesn't ever stop.
Yeah. You kind of have your fingers really in it then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, again, like I work best in a collaboration. I think that everybody has something unique to bring to the table. I love hearing people's opinions and then ultimately like picking and choosing the things that you think fit to match the tone that you're going for.
Morgan is a high-potential intellectual. She has advanced cognitive abilities.
What is she supposed to do?
Spot the things my detectives miss.
So, what do you think happened?
All of the candles were melted down. except for this one. There was thrashing around, and bathwater put out this lone candle.
But was it murder?
100%.
You were mentioning about Morgan's dialogue,
Yeah.
which is something I'm so interested in, and kind of these monologues when she's like reciting all these facts and figures, and like,
Yeah.
I was struggling to actually keep up watching it. So I was like, how are you
Tell
even
me
saying
about
this?
it. I don't know.
Did you have any tricks for like learning that much off by heart?
Yeah, so, well, at the end of the day, after I take the nails off and wash everything off, I go back in my trailer and I just look at the next day's scenes and I speak it all into a recorder and I listen to it all the way home, and then I have time with my kids and put them to bed, and then I memorize while listening to it and reading it, and then I have to listen to it all the way to work the next day. So it's just a lot of both visual and auditory stuff. And yeah, I mean, that's really the only trick, is just going over and over and over it. But it's true that I have to understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of times where I'm like, I'll sit down with the writers and talk about it, because I'm like, I don't understand what this means, and I have to understand it.
Yes,
or the
to say
audience,
it.
or to
Yeah,
say it, or the
yeah.
audience isn't going to.
Yeah, for sure.
And so there's just, it's a first season thing. There's a lot of just like fine tuning of that stuff.
You must
but
just
yeah,
have
it's
so many
challenging.
random facts rolling around in your head.
But
now.
I dump them immediately at the end of the day. Yeah, no, like I'll know all of these facts, the batracha toxins and like, you know, the poison dart frogs, and then that night it's gone, and I've moved on to the next
I'm
thing.
glad your
Yeah.
brain would have been like
Yeah.
clogged up.
No, please.
like-
I'm still a mom. I'm like texting people what to make for dinner if I'm not there.
Your brain, I can't cope with how busy it is. You were mentioning about Morgan's wardrobe, which I just thought was so brilliant.
So fun.
I would love to know from you, like, why do you think it was important that she dressed in that way? Getting glam for the day job is like,
Yeah.
I love it.
That's so good. What I love about Morgan is that she is underestimated. And so I think when she shows up in these outfits, people automatically have a judgment about who she is, and they're wrong, but she doesn't care. She likes dressing like that, and I think that's the main thing for me, is that it just helps that whole fish out of water thing. Like, that's not probably how you should show up to a crime scene. She doesn't care.
No, but I love that. For you, like, having to wear that every day, was that like, is that usually how you dress? Or
No.
was it a bit, okay.
No, I wear sweats and sneakers, and I'm 5'9", so I never wear heels. So, which is actually really helpful, because I also don't wear like snug, tight things ever. So it really, it's a very sensory, like, gets you right into character.
It's like, put the mini skirt on again.
The skirt and the
Again.
nails and the heels. And
I love
yeah.
that you took them off at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, they gotta go. The press-ons.
I have time for one more, I think, but I loved that scene when your character's kind of dancing and she's just going around. I'm always kind of fascinated by, were you actually listening to anything while you were doing that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was not in my headphones, but that. So you do. They call it playback. So you listen to it very loudly for like 5 seconds, and then they turn it off so that you can shoot.
So it's kind of in your head.
Yeah,
What was the song? Do you remember?
I do. It's the one from the French version, and I don't remember the name of it. But we shot the pilot in Vancouver, Canada, and I had like 3 choreography sessions, and I was like, oh,
Really?
we're gonna like actually choreograph this? I just pictured me just like screwing
Yeah,
around
just-
and dancing around. And they were like,
That's kind of what it looked like. I'm not going to lie to you.
Good. No, that was
the point.
choreographed.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Amazing. I probably have to wrap up now,
Oh,
but it's such a
okay.
pleasure. And
Thank
I'm so excited
you.
for season 2 already.
Yes, me too.
Thank you so much. So
Nice to meet you.